Liberation can be had when you embrace both the good and the bad. Today on Awaken and Ascend, I brought in someone who will help you to unwind from the stuck points and actually transmute them into catalysts for growth. Her name is Evakarin, and she's joining us from Sweden today with her decades of experience in transformational coaching, human design, and subconscious reprogramming so that you can transform fear into freedom and self-doubt into embodied confidence. I'm Jennifer Regular, your host, also the founder at Lighting the Path and the Leadership Ascension Alliance, and I'm so excited that you're here to join us to awaken and ascend. Eva Karin, it's so wonderful to have you here once again, because a few
Yeah,
years ago, when I was hosting the Wise Woman Wednesdays, you were my very first guest. And
I
here we are
remember that.
again. Yeah, back
Yeah,
then you were sharing about your expansion method, and now you're really into human design and how we can operate through that to really have a successful business and share our passion that's already all within us. And so I'm
yeah,
really grateful that you're here to join us again. Thanks for being
yeah.
here.
Thank you for having me again. It's a blessing to be able to share what has happened since the last time in
Yes.
my life and in my work.
So fill us in. What's been happening?
So you mentioned human design. I haven't been doing that for decades. Done that for a few years for myself.
Mhm.
And s- um, in in the spring, I learned about human design connected to marketing and to find my message, my true message, and my way of doing business. And I'm what's called a manifester. I'm not supposed to do, the work all day long.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to sit and rest and wait for my intuition to give me, you know, inspiration to something. And the funny thing with that is that, if I look back over the years of my business, I started my coaching business in 2001. So I've been doing this for quite some time. And I've been struggling a lot. And a few occasions, it's like everything opened up. And why? What did I do? That was when I, connected with whatever it is
Mm.
and got the intuitive hit and followed that right away. And
Mhm.
then I thought, this is my way of doing marketing. So I'm going to do that again. It flopped every time because I followed my design without even knowing it. And then I got things going the way I expected them to, wanted to. And when I did sort of what you should do, it didn't work.
Mm.
So for a while, I was a bit upset about it because how can I just trust my intuition to come when I need it? But now, when I've learned that this is my design, I can lean back and rest or go and do something else and trust that my intuition is guiding me. And that has made such a big shift in the way I operate.
Wow, that trust is such a huge component of that as well, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah. And
it
even
is.
knowing our human design, I mean, there's lots of different assessments and charts that you can get. In fact, we have a really good one that we'll put in the video description for people to access. How did you come across your human design?
Many years ago, I was in a mentorship program where I met a person where she talked about human design. Never heard about it before.
Hmm.
And and when she heard that I was a manifester, and because I did the test, and had been a single mom with 5 kids, she said, "You're a manifester, been single with 5 kids." Like she was surprised, and now I can understand why she was surprised because I'm not made to do the maintenance, to do the same thing over and over again.
Hmm.
But she's also said that it was really complex. And so I dismissed it for me. I said, no, I'm not going to go into something complex like that.
Hmm.
But then, like, I think it's 3, 4 years ago, something came up, like an email or something, and an invitation to learn human design.
Hmm.
And suddenly I felt, this is it. I'm going to do this now. And it is complex, but you can learn a lot from the three basic parts: knowing your type, your profile, and inner authority.
Mm.
But and now it's like everything has sort of come back to me in a new way. I still do the expansion method. It's my number one tool to transform inner stuff. But also the business part, because I've been a member of uh, you know, business mentorships. And I've also been a transformation coach in a mentorship for another coach, helping
Mm-hmm.
her clients.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've seen both with myself and for so many others is that we learn a lot of good stuff, but it's difficult for us to implement it in a way that it works for us
Mm-hmm.
because we have too many limitations on ourselves. So focus too much on, I have a problem. Let's Google, let's buy a course, buy a book about how to solve the problem. When many times what you have to do is to go inside instead. Because when you release the block, the belief, whatever it might be, suddenly you get your ahas, you get your confidence back, and you many times just know from that what next step to take. So now I'm sort of weaving in all three parts into one program where I focus mostly on the human and not so much about the strategies.
Mm.
Because when we feel good about what we do, it's easy to take action.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you also talk about the liberation, the freedom that comes from embracing the good and the bad.
Mm-hmm.
I know people have written books on toxic positivity, even, right? Or spiritual bypassing, where we
Mm-hmm.
only want to focus on the good and success and building, 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 and avoiding any conflict with that, any of those limiting beliefs, any of those subconscious programmings that's actually running the show. You can't build
Yeah.
on top of that. Just like we have to declutter before we can create some order in our homes, in our life, and so on, and in our minds, especially. And so it is important, isn't it, to build that strong foundation, one that's clear and would help us to build upon. So, what do you suggest for those who are not wanting to look at the bad, who either fear it or don't want to give any energy or time to that just would prefer to avoid it and just focus on the good? How can we embrace both the good and the bad and have people trust that there is actual freedom and liberation in that? This is how we free our spirit to direct the life that we're meant to live, rather
So
than all the control is what
yeah.
essentially all that is, right?
So first of all, how's your life, working? Are you
Mm.
happy with what's going on in your life?
Mm.
Because I mean, if you are, congratulations, just enjoy it. But uh, our physical world is a mirror of what's going on inside of us.
Mm.
So if you have something you don't like in your life, it's just a mirror from what's going on within you. So uh, you talked about clearing the clutter. I have this metaphor where I say, oh yeah, I don't like the dust in my house. So I just sweep it under the rug
Mm.
because I don't want to see it.
Mhm.
And I keep doing that over and over and over again until the rug goes like that.
Yeah.
And I will trip and fall over and, hurt myself.
Mm.
So that is what most probably will happen when people don't want to look at the reality. You know, we have pleasant things in our lives and we have unpleasant things in our lives. That's our reality. But it doesn't mean that it has to stay that way because we, even though it's difficult to logically understand this, we are fluid. We are not stagnant.
Mm.
We we feel like we are the same because we have the same beliefs and thoughts and feelings going on day after day after day. And for extreme example, look at people with multiple personality disorders.
Mhm.
I mean, they can totally change their personality in a blink of an eye.
Mm-hmm.
I even heard cases that they change their eye color.
Oh, wow.
How is that even possible? Well, it's because they really jump into a totally different personality. How that works inside of them, I don't know. But we can take that as a possibility for us to be able to also change. But
Mm.
we're probably not being able to change that much that fast, but we can take it in steps.
Mm.
So the we talked about trust
Mm-hmm.
and where how to actually feel that, because I speak to people sometimes and they say, well, yeah, trust is something I work with. And I say, well, that is actually nothing to work with because that is already within you.
Mm.
But there's other parts on top of it that is in the way, so you're not able to connect with the trust.
Mm.
And those are the things you have to maybe not really work with because it sounds like it's heavy work and it doesn't have to be. It's more recognize what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
one simple way to do this is to just accept it
Yes.
instead of avoiding it. Say, like the other day, I went into a rather heated discussion, and afterwards I sort of reflected, why couldn't I just let it go? I wanted to be right.
Mm.
And I realized that a part of me felt misunderstood, and that was painful. So now when I, calm down, I could see this within myself and say, yeah, that is one of my wounds. It happened many times, and I don't like to be misunderstood.
Mm-hmm.
But recognize it, I can accept that part of me that now is softer. It's still, a bit of a wound. It's not active in the moment, and I'm allowing it to be. And that is one powerful way to just soften it
Mm-hmm.
and maybe come back to it. Say, oh yeah, how do I feel about being misunderstood? Hmm. Accepting that part again and again and
Mm.
again to soften it bit by bit. And then finally you will come to a place where you don't really care if people understand you or not, because it's no longer triggering me.
Mm. It's a way to neutralize it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's what I'm hearing. What you're saying too is that we become more aware, more conscious of what's rising up for us, what is part of us, and what is there, what is wanting to be known in us, and being able to accept that, accept the fullness of who we are, accept the fullness of life when we embrace the good and the bad. And that's where the liberation and the freedom comes from. It's like, okay, I can handle this. I can navigate these shifts. I can navigate anything that comes my way and up through me as well. And then we get to act, to be able to move and take action from the wholeness that we are, the
Yeah.
fullness of who we are, and move away from all those self imposed limitations and suppression and holding ourselves back. Those are all parts of who we are. And the more that we continue to deny them, the less freedom we're actually going to have. And so that controlling the outcomes and the way of being and what we do and how that's going to unfold in our lives is actually an illusion, right? Because it's not coming from our wholeness, our fullness, our actual reality.
It's I see it this way. It's like we have come to this earth to play in this environment,
Hmm.
but we forgot to play.
Ah, we forgot to play.
So we're
Yeah.
taking everything so seriously.
Yes.
So, but I also want to say that there's always a gift waiting for us on the other side of fear of, whatever is coming in the way.
Mm.
So um, when we, it's like, yeah, self-love, to do that.
Hmm.
And when you come out on the other side, there's always a gift waiting for you.
Mm.
So what happened to me the day after um had this heated argument and reflected was that I got this, I had decided beforehand that today I'm going to go for a long walk. And I woke up too early in the morning, so I was tired and I didn't feel at all like going out.
Hmm.
So, and then midday, I went to bed to take a nap and woke up and felt really good. So I felt,
Hmm.
okay, now I'm going to go for a walk and a really long walk. And during that walk, I met a friend I haven't talked to for a long while.
Oh, wow.
And that was such a beautiful meeting. And we were updating each other about what's going on. And she talked first, and then she asked me, how's life for you? And I just genuinely said, well, today I'm in love with my life.
Hmm.
And that was really spontaneous. I didn't even think about that before. But when she asked me, I tuned in, I felt that was how I felt.
Wow.
So that was my gift that day, when I had released what happened.
Hmm.
And, you know, there's always something waiting for you on the other side.
Yes.
So
And
you're,
to trust that, to have faith, which is on the other side of fear. And you talked too about transforming that self doubt into embodied confidence. Can you share a little bit more about that? Because I know there's a lot of us, including me, that will encounter self doubt from time to time, especially if we're paying attention to what other people are thinking and saying about us, right?
yeah, that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Hmm.
What do they think about me now? So I would say something that really helped me in so many ways to open up, and that is to do improvisation theater.
That's it. Go do some improv.
Yep, I so much recommend it
Uh,
because you um, you get you have to break through your behaviors, especially of those what they're going to think about me kind of
mm,
thoughts,
mhm,
because whatever you do, they just say, "Oh, more, higher, more." Always encouraging. Oh, they did a mistake. Congratulations, bravo. So that kind of vibe. So it's really a safe environment to open up.
oh, wow.
So, so that aside, remember that you are not just a thinking head. You are a whole body.
Mhm,
And your body is a vehicle between the subconscious mind and the conscious mind. So if you know, I would recommend to do like a daily check-in and
mhm,
several times a day. So just check in and put your hands on different parts of your body and just ask yourself, how do I feel today?
mhm.
How is my body feeling today? Because so many times people walk around, and I've done it myself, and not noticing what's going on in the body.
Yeah.
And the body speaks to you all the time. And then suddenly an accident happen, or you get an illness, or things like that. And you might feel like it was unexpected, but your body has been whispering, has been talking loud, and suddenly has to scream at you so you can listen.
Mhm.
So to tune in and see that the body talks to you, that is so powerful, because if you feel heaviness in the chest area, just be curious. Uh, hmm, why do I feel this? Is something happened recently that triggered it? Did I have any thoughts that might have been connected with it? So that is a way to get to know yourself
Mhm.
and be embodied, be in your body, because that is where the truth happens. That is the only part of you that is in the present all the time. Your mind can wander back and forth, but your body cannot.
Mhm.
So, and it carries your history. It even carries your ancestor history. So, and that has been interesting in my work because, and the first time I realized this was a woman that came to me, and she was she was sounding angry even when she wasn't angry, when she just had a natural conversation, but it was something sticky in her voice.
Mm-hmm.
But she also had a hot temper. So we started to look into her ancestral lineage. And she said, yeah, it has been a lot of violence in just her grandparents. Violence, uh, well, a lot of drama. I could just,
Mm.
I forgot exactly what it was. But even alcoholism was also, and way back also.
Mm.
So we cleared that lineage, and her voice softened. She didn't have that edgy voice anymore.
Wow.
And she called me back later on and said that one of her cousins had decided to go to uh, this anonymous uh, codependency
Yeah. Coda,
things. Yeah,
Codependence Anonymous. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. Because she realized that she was codependent and
Mm.
had, because she had also had this, parents or grandparents that has been alcoholic.
Right. Yeah.
So clearing that for my client helped to clear it for her cousin. So the cousin, got to know herself a bit more and realized something that was important to her. So I wasn't working on her cousin. I was just working on the lineage back, but it's
Yeah.
transferred into other people.
And that is so true about healing. When we heal ourselves and care for ourselves, then that supports and heals the whole ancestral line.
Hmm.
Yeah, always. Always, no matter what the modality. And you talk about human design a bit earlier and about the body and being in your body. And through human design, we have an inner authority, right? Where
Yes.
there's a particular part in our body that we are naturally can tune into and really support our intuition and the rational mind, have that come together and integrate what it is that we can do to heal ourselves and to move forward. So, can you share a little bit about what you discover through the inner authority, what that actually means?
Yes. So my inner authority, I have, it's called the will center, is my driving force.
Mm-hmm.
And what that means is that as being a manifester, I should wait for inspiration and then
Mm.
act on it. And uh, there's so there's so much to it. So uh, I want to start with the types. There's 5 different types,
Okay.
and sort of that's the first thing you look at when you look at your chart to see what type am I. And uh, and manifester, as I said, wait for the intuitive hit and then act on it. Generator and manifesting generators, they should wait for something to respond to. So, for instance, they hear someone talk about something or they read something and they respond to it, then they should act.
Mm.
And then we have the projectors. They should wait for being invited, for an invitation, instead of going all in and try to force something to happen. It's
Mm.
not going to work well for them. So many times they're going to burn themselves out if they do that. And then we have the reflector, which is not so many. It's like 1% of all the people. And they need to wait 1 month, one moon cycle, especially if taken a big decision, because they are so sensitive. So they take in energy from other people around them. So they need to be a lot in solitude and wait to see if this decision is mine or did I pick it up from someone else.
Mm.
And then we have the authorities that comes from the uh, the what driving force you have. So mine is will. So I should go for what I want, not for what other people want, which is not that easy for being a people pleaser.
Yes.
So that is something I have to sort of practice. I have to practice to rest as well. So I've been going totally against my design for most of my life.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, and the generator and manifesting generator, they can have uh, either two different authorities, either the sacral, which is the inner motor that they have a lot of energy, but they can also have the emotional center, which means that when they get an idea or something to respond to, they still have to wait a little bit to see, to wait out the emotional wave, to see that when they feel neutral about it, if it feels still good to do it.
Hmm.
So the different ways to act in life. We can talk about being examples of being in your true self and not self. Like for a manifester, when I'm in myself, I feel peaceful. That's an indicator I'm in my design. When I'm not in my design, I get angry. A generator feels frustration when he or she is not their design, but they feel content when they're in the design. So, it's so easy to feel like, well, I feel peaceful and you should do that too.
Yeah.
Well, maybe, oh, look at that.
Woo! Fireworks. It's like magic.
Oh my God, what was that?
Oh.
So, and then you have the profile, and that is 6 numbers, and there are 2 numbers to every chart. So, and they are sort of showing it the way you act in life. Like I'm a 1-3. Number 1 is the person that is going deep and learn something. I cannot stop, learning more about what I'm interested in. I just go deep, deep. And number 3 is the person that has gone through a lot of stuff and sort of made mistakes, but
Hmm.
learned from them to share them with other people.
Hmm.
So we have those things going on as well. That's the 3 basic parts of human design. If you know that, that's a lot to take in, a lot to experience, because it's not just, knowledge in your mind. You have
Hmm.
to live it
Hmm.
to see how it works out for you, how it comes out different in life, your results.
Perfect. And we're going to have that link to find out your human
Mm.
design in the video description there. And so, how do you work with people with that, Evakarin?
Well, I work mostly with helping them to see these 3 parts of them, but also how they could communicate in their business. Some people should be on video or audio because that is where they shine. Other people would do better just writing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people would do brilliant with posting, you know, short stuff on social media, while others should do longer posts. We should communicate a different way. I, as a manifester, is more like telling people how it is. Like a generator should still respond to something before they communicate it out. So to also on my website, I have a free ebook you can download so you can sort of go through your chart and go to the ebook and sort of see more about who you are. Because the chart, if you don't have any information about the chart per se, you don't understand anything because it just looks weird.
Right. It does. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah.
them. Yeah, you
So
definitely need someone to help you interpret that. So it's wonderful that you have that and even a guidebook too to go
yeah,
through. And so for being able to connect with you, to be able to get that chart and the guide, all of those links will be in the video description below. Of course, you'll find my information there as well. And I wonder, Eva Karin, if there's anything else that you would like to share with us today.
mhm. Yeah. So what I would say is that um, when we talk about fear, we're actually not afraid of what we think we're afraid of.
Mm.
We're afraid of feeling uncomfortable.
Yes. Mm.
And if you just see that it's nothing dangerous about feelings, it's just sensations that goes through you. It's not who you are.
Mm.
It's what you sense. It's how you feel, and feelings shift.
Mm.
But they can guide you to look at yourself, to a deeper part of you. And you can learn so much about yourself. And freedom comes when you accept yourself the way you are.
Ah.
There's a British expression that I just love. And I heard it someone say, I love you with warts and all. It's like, no matter how you look, I love
Hmm.
you anyway. And,
Hmm.
how about feeling that for yourself?
Total acceptance.
I have my flaws. I have my, baggage of mistakes and whatnot.
Hmm.
And when I can accept that, it's self-love.
Mm. And it softens, like you say. Hmm.
And as I said, also, what the outside is a mirror of what's going on inside. So just imagine what's going to open up for you if you soften,
Mm.
if you accept yourself the way you are, your 3D world will change.
Yeah, completely. And then you reach this point of no return because it just
Yeah.
only goes up from here. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that. Really appreciate you being back here. And, also check out the other episode on White Zone Wednesday. So find out in the podcast list. That's still on there too, because also very enlightening episode. So appreciate you being here and continuing your growth,
Thank
Evakarin,
you.
to get into human design in recent years. And like you say, you've been working against it most of your life, and now you're really shifting that and going even deeper into your calling. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
you bet. You bet. And thank you for each and every one of you that have been tuning in today. We'll see you all again next time. Let us know what you thought of this episode. What hit home? Do you know your human design? Share it in the comments. Bye for now.